The Zone Coverage Podcast Network. The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy, Luke, and Arif football machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Great cash, homie.
Starts now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Purple for the Win. Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine, Zone Coverage Podcast Network. I'm your not so almost Andy Carlson at Andy Carlson Show on the Tour Machine, and I have equity. More equity than Wes Anderson would bank if he did Zone Coverage movie.
Will we get jumpsuits?
What do you think of that?
We're definitely getting jumpsuits, and we're getting overhead shots and face punches, and also Bill Murray's going to...
Bill Murray always makes that.
No, yeah. Bill Murray is Tom.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
For sure. I loved you in Groundhog Day.
A complete.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A complete young cast, and then Bill Murray cast as one of the millennials as well, and like no one ever brings up the age discrepancy.
Well,
Nobody ever says anything about it.
Yeah. Who's played by? Well, obviously Luke is Owen Wilson. Who's played by Jason Schwartz? Is it?
Ooh, you need a Jason Schwartz. Can you do both?
Yeah, I'm down.
No, you can't do both.
Actually, yeah.
I don't know. That's a key character,
Naylor.
though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
David Naylor.
Perfect.
Lockdown Wolves. There we go. Or no.
Wolves Wired.
Yeah, that one. Join me, as always, Arif Hasan. Follow him on Twitter at Arif Hasan NFL.
Hey.
So you would be the kid from the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Luke, you're Owen Wilson.
I'm Owen, yep.
Yeah, which is confusing because your name is Luke, but you're Owen.
Right. No, I know. That was weird how that worked out.
Is there?
It was weird. I don't know what I was thinking.
Is there a third Wilson brother?
I think so.
Which is like an amalgamation of both of them? Or it's like
It's just like the Manning
It's
brother.
like the third Hemsworth brother.
Oh, touche.
Yeah. Just looks like a mutant combination of both of them. But working the board today is Top Chart at Teacher At3. What's up, Bill?
So we have our our caption contest is Name Our Holiday. Someone had passed over.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's a pretty good one.
Andrew Wilson is the third Olsen.
Whoa.
Oh. His nose is normal. This doesn't.
Yeah, this doesn't. He adapted.
Maybe I'm thinking about the Hemsworth. Oh,
He does act.
Wow.
Oh, he's been in kind of a lot of things.
Hall pass. Wow.
Idiocracy is an Idiocracy. Mike Judge.
Mike Judge is underrated.
Yeah.
Judge.
Well, he's done more than 2 movies, right?
Oh, Tenenbaums?
Idiocracy, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
King of the Hill is a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're bringing it back because they're bringing back every show now. That's how they go. We should bring back this show. Today we're talking about 2-round mock draft. Also, we got some Vikings news as well. But, gentlemen, the reveal. The Zone Coverage NFL Draft HQ. Wait, have we come up with a technical name for it?
Nope.
Guide.
The draft site?
We got to work
awesomeness?
on that. We got to work on that.
Yeah, that's someone. It's under construction.
No, we should call it something awesome, like Operation GGYG.
Oh,
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that. Obviously, I like that.
Yeah.
I think we could do the caption contest. Name our guide.
Zonecoverage.com/GGYG. That's the vanity link.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cut print. There we go.
Love that.
But what you guys been working on this week? What have you been grinding on?
Grinding a lot of videos for the big release here coming up soon. Me and Arif have been pumping in a lot of work, so get ready for that. I think might be a little sneak peek, but April 9th, you'll start to get a big flood of a lot of the content we've been working on.
Great reply from show favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme. April Tools Day.
Oh, that's good.
It's pretty good. Reef, how about you?
Same thing. Just been. Well, I'm handling a bunch of the analytics side of the draft. The Go Get Your Guys guide.
Yeah, you were just
Go get
showing
your
me some outstanding stats you got over here.
Yeah, we just got geeked out a little bit over someone we saw at the Senior Bowl, Justin Watson. Penn
Small
for
school
the
dude.
Ivy League.
And you pointed out he's gotten over half of his team's
over
total
50% of his receiving yards.
Outstanding.
It seems like a lot. Like I feel like if you're good in the Ivy League, you're just going to be a beast.
Right.
Maybe.
Ali Marpet?
He wasn't in the Ivy.
Hobart.
Hobart. It's
You know,
not in the Ivy League.
D3.
UST, basically Ivy League, right?
Any small school in the
Mankato
Northeast
State.
is Ivy League.
So Thielen's an Ivy Leaguer?
Yeah.
No, it's not the Northeast.
No,
He
that's
said
a
small school in the
huge-
Northeast.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
All right, so Vikings going through the 30 visits. They had all of them in at one time.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Quick gut reaction.
Didn't they do that a couple years ago too? They had like a feast.
Yeah.
And
I feel like you don't get
No, you're
the
right. I
feel
don't think it was that big, though.
for these are for interviews. These are you talk to Jamal Stevenson, director of college scouting, Spielman,
Jamal.
Zimmer, and I feel like if you have them all in at one time, maybe they have a great system down. I don't know, but it just seems like you don't get that personal
No,
thing.
not at all.
You're
Maybe
cool.
they wanna
You're cool.
see how-
You're cool. You suck.
You're out.
Yeah, we're-
Quit.
Like if it's like if you're visiting colleges, and if you have like the one-on-one tour, you feel like you get more out of it rather than if you were in a group of like 10.
Yeah, there's definitely not that personal factor. But maybe they wanted to see some of these guys interact with other prospects. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what is the
They enclose them, and
advantage
they're like, 10 will survive.
yeah, they're just sitting behind a glass screen, just like observing.
It's Hunger Games. I got money. I got money. My money on Nathan Shepard.
what?
Okay, so what I love,
God damn it.
Mean Girls. So you go back and you look at a lot of these. What I like about these, there's not a ton of first round caliber guys. It's a lot of the guys you're going to find in the second, third, fourth, fifth round. Frank Ragnow, Dante Pettis. There's some fun names on here. I think Mike Hughes, Central Florida, is a name to maybe consider. I keep saying cornerbacks loaded. There's going to be one or two names that fall right in the lap of the Vikings at 30. I'm guessing maybe a Josh Jackson or a Isaiah Oliver, but there's a lot of good talent there. Maybe Mike Hughes is one of them. We know when we look back at their previous visits, the 30 visit, there's always one or two, if not more, that they end up drafting. So it's not every name, but another one I like, Alex Kappa. I really fell in love with him at the Senior Bowl. So fun to see some of these names.
Now, Arif, I think we've run this idea by you before, but is there a database that matches up like combine interviews, 30 visits, and if the team drafted them?
I don't know if it does the final thing, but you can check out over at Walter Football the whole list of team visits for each team and or each player. They've got it organized in different ways if you want
but
to.
that would require going there.
Yeah. But it shouldn't be too hard to whip up if you've got the time. If I've got I assume you're asking me.
Like did Harrison have a visit?
No, I don't think Harrison did, but they coached him at the Senior Bowl. So
Did Teddy have a visit?
Yes.
I think he did.
I think Teddy had a visit.
Yeah, it's all good. A guy that is starting to pick up a little steam on the Vikings Twitter because I have my finger firmly in the pulse, not on the pulse.
Yeah. You're in it.
In the pulse.
Inside the pulse.
In the pulse.
About
coming
to,
from
about to
inside
kill
the
it.
pulse.
You can feel the entire capillary. Like if I take my finger out, like it's
see
gonna
it,
bleed
dude.
out.
Yeah, I can see it.
So Justin Reed,
Yep.
Tom, that was not a sexual joke. That was a blood vessel joke.
Yeah, come on.
So Justin Reed, safety out of Stanford, little brother of Eric Reed, currently a free agent for stuff, and
Perfectly football reasons, sir.
so he's a ball hawk. I like that he's versatile. He can play in the slot, and also just for some, I just like the pedigree of guys that go to academically inclined schools like Stanford, Notre Dame, etc.
What are the chances
Yankee.
that he falls because of his brother? Like they're like, I bet you share.
Sir, are you going to kneel or are you going to stand?
Right.
Well, I think that he'll get drilled for that topic during the pre-draft, but if he can handle it well, I don't think it'll hurt him at all.
You know,
It
I
should.
got another brother too, man.
Maybe
like
for
he
a
plays
few
soccer
teams,
at
but-
Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
I bet it breaks a few ties against him.
A few, but I think, he's
And
a
I
good
bet
enough
some
player
teams.
that.
And I bet some teams are just like, don't need to do
Okay,
that.
over under pick 40, Justin Reed.
I think he's taken ahead
As
of that.
So under, I guess, right?
Under, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before that,
So possible first rounder.
possible first round. Yeah, I
As
mean,
a
I
nut-
think he's a first round talent.
And
he's
again,
good.
I love the versatility. Who was it? JR spit out a great tweet and stat about all his snaps.
Yeah,
I love
played
his-
a bulk of it from the nickel.
I love that too, and I think they're looking for maybe somebody to challenge Mac Alexander. But I fell in love with Quentin Meeks. He was one of my GGYGs a few episodes ago. So you think about both these Stanford guys together; they're pretty damn good.
Reed's versatility reminds me of Exum, except like better and like
I was
also
excited about Exum. Was that
Hey,
weird?
man.
without the weird
I like
vendetta.
Exum
Yeah,
coming
right.
out. Then he bulked up.
I just want to put out there that Exum had a really good training camp from the slot.
Yeah,
Like
that's right.
he did
That's
really
right.
well as a slot corner in training camp, and a lot of people thought he was going to be able to make the team just from that alone because of how many concerns the Vikings had in slot coverage. And I think he just got cut because there were a lot of bodies.
Yeah. I was just saying at that time, that's when the nickel role started really growing in the league, too.
Yeah, they value Treadwell so much.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird. Like, I thought Exum was going to make the 53. I thought that was almost a lock. But then also, he gets let go. He doesn't get picked up anywhere.
That was so weird to me. Like, it made sense that the Vikings cut him, right? Because you have to reserve a spot for Marcus Sherrills and Terrence Newman, and then you've got your 3 starters, and then that's 5, and you've got 4 safeties. You have to ask if you're going to have 9 or 10. I don't know. That was a really difficult spot, and I'm surprised that he didn't get picked up after that.
Yeah. So this is my usual draft process. I break late. Like, you guys are on them like early and often. So it's like you guys discovered all these cool underground bands, and then all of a sudden I'm coming was like, hey, you guys heard about Vampire Weekend? Pretty good, huh?
He's the record.
I just heard of
the label.
Was it Red Hot Chili Peppers? You heard about these guys?
You heard about these guys? These guys wail.
Yeah, the bass player is in Back to the Future.
That's a fact. That's a true
but this,
fact.
put a bow on this Justin Reed kid. Like, 4-star recruit out of Louisiana, which is hard to do.
Yep.
Was offered by LSU. It's where his brother played. It's where his dad was a track star and whatnot. But then goes to Stanford, but was also offered by Northwestern, Notre Dame, Harvard, Princeton, Yale. I'm like, some pretty good parenting going on. Also, the mom played tight end in like the Women's Arena Football League.
What?
The Legends Football League?
So, no, like the older version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like that's some pretty good stock.
Yeah, that's not a bad history to have behind you.
Yeah, I like the third brother, like the least athletic one, plays D1 soccer. He's just like, hey, come on, man.
He's just following his dream, man. Let him do that.
I'll put it out to you guys. So Dallas Goedert was a visit. Mike Gesicki, I also like him.
Let's go.
If you're given the option between them, who you got?
I'm Goddard.
All day?
All day.
He can block.
Yeah.
I mean, Gesicki would be really good at whatever role they'll...
But you still don't know. There's still some uncertainty, though, with Gesicki. I think he may have the higher ceiling, maybe.
Yeah.
But just physically and athletically, but you still have to put it all together, and you just never know.
Yeah.
Goddard, I know what I'm going to get, dude. I'm going to get an 8-year pro, and he's going to be really good.
I'm a little worried, like, if the Vikings go Gesicki, if they'll try to Bucky Hodges him. Because Bucky Hodges, a poor man's version of Gesicki, like, completely, right?
Yeah.
And, like, when we saw him at OTAs and training camp, like, why are they making Bucky block so much?
I know.
He doesn't do that.
Right.
And then they cut him. And it's like, oh, all right.
Still in
Yeah,
Carolina?
I don't actually think that the
Side with
reason
the
that they
Jets.
cut Bucky, which is going to be interesting. Teddy will throw to Hodges, right?
Yeah.
Neither of them are going to see the field rip.
Rip.
Sorry.
Rip.
But I don't think the reason they cut him was because he couldn't block. They made him block a lot because you have to figure out like what he can do, what he can't do. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him just because it was difficult for him to pick up the playbook.
Could be.
Yeah.
iPad's like a pound.
Right. Yeah, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that would be an issue with like Gesicki. And obviously, there's like just a ton more to have with them. But I like that when you have Goddard on the field, you can do anything you want. Like you can, run out of I. You can run out of a spread formation that are equally as threatening. You can pass out of a tight formation. You can pass out of a spread formation. He can do everything that you're going to ask him to do, and he can help disguise your play actions a lot better. I think he's a lot smoother at a lot of those kind of smaller things like selling play action. I think he's a lot better on down blocks and blocking downfield. I think Gesicki does have more upside, especially as a receiver, and I think he does a better job. And Goddard's really good at this, but I think Gesicki does a better job going up in the air and getting it.
He does.
And again, Goddard's really good at it. But I would definitely take Goddard out of the two of them. Now, for the value for where they would go, I would say in January, I'd say because Gesicki was a late second rounder, I would say Gesicki. But now it sounds like Goddard might be below Gesicki, potentially. Like Gesicki might go in the first round.
I still think
Goddard might be in the second round.
I still think Goddard's in that anywhere from that 20 to 30 range, and Gesicki's more of that 30 to 45 range.
Yeah, I think
maybe, but whatever.
That makes the most sense.
In the league though, now that everybody's looking for a move tight end, Gesicki could be more appealing to one team. I also see Hayden Hurst in there quite a bit. I'm not a big Hayden Hurst guy for where he's being projected, but I've seen him in some first-round mock drafts.
Where do you put Mark Andrews, tight end from Oklahoma?
I like him a lot. To me, he's a second rounder. I think he's
the
definitively
lost equation. Like nobody talks about Mark Andrews anymore.
I think he's definitively behind, and not all the draft guys agree with him. Some of them as tight end 1, but I think he's pretty definitively behind Goddard and Gesicki. But I think he's ahead of everyone else. Not that this is like a great tight end class beyond those first two, but saying he's ahead of everyone else is not saying a ton. But I do think he kind of fits into a shelf of his own tier. He's a really interesting prospect.
Who was the last great small school tight end?
Gates?
I don't think he played at Kent. Did he play at Kent State? I thought it was just basketball.
He did play any football? It might have been, but how wild is that?
Because he went undrafted.
Yeah.
Because what did Travis Kelce go, right? Because Gronk went to Arizona, which
Yeah.
Rudolph, great tight end, went to Notre Dame.
You're telling me that Rob Gronkowski, a guy from
Miami.
New Jersey, it's like, of all the schools I'm going to pick, I'm just going to pick Arizona. At least he didn't go to Arizona State.
That would have been more in keeping with
school.
Yeah.
Just
Arizona State Community College.
It's not like Arizona's like the
total bro school.
Yeah, that different.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't take higher education very. It must be the heat.
Arizona's public schools are on par with like Alabama's in terms of quality.
So they turn out 340-pound one techs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
That's what we do.
Smooth segue. Kendall Wright. It's up in the building. Wide receiver 3. Vikings Inc., the former Tennessee Titans first-round pick, and also had a couple. He was the Bears' leading receiver last year. 1-year deal worth $1 million, $400 guaranteed. Thoughts?
I like it. It's disheartening for Treadwell, I guess, is the first thing you kind of think of. Like, wow, he's toast. He really is toast. And we knew that, but he's toast. You go sign Kendall Wright. He's a good, really good slot guy. He's made a career in that inside slot. You can't have enough of those guys. They let Jarius Wright go. Clearly looking for some depth there. Probably the best quarterback he's going to play with in his career is going to be Kirk Cousins, so that's going to be fun. But you need that third, fourth guy in any offense and any receiving core. And clearly, we don't have a lot of depth, man. Coley, your boy, Caleb Jones.
I actually don't think this is a huge indictment on Treadwell.
It might not be.
I think it was
They're
more
different
of a
style players.
Yeah, more of a depth signing. Also, he's only got 400 guaranteed, so it's not even a lock that he makes the 53.
That's true.
No,
That's true,
they don't fit the same role, so I don't think that this says much about Treadwell. I didn't even think when they got Michael Floyd it said much about Treadwell, even though they do fit the same role.
They're just good opportunity.
We need bodies.
Yeah, I think it's just a good opportunity, and I think this is a good example of that. Jarius Wright did provide value. Maybe not the value represented by his contract, but he did provide value, and it was nice to have him on a football team. Kendall Wright, I think, is a better version of that. And so you get him for much cheaper than having Jarius
Don't
on the
have to get
roster.
New jerseys.
Don't have to get new jerseys. Just Wright 17, right?
Now, do you think that there was a little bit of a, come on.
Pick 17. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, what did he sign with in Carolina? What was the contract?
Like $2 million? I think
It
Kendall
wasn't a
Wright.
lot.
I think Kendall Wright is strictly cheaper than Jarius Wright's new deal. Yeah, I'll look that up. But
$2 million.
But
worth $2 million to you? Is he worth $2 million to you? Would you have paid $2 million?
yes,
to keep
but I
him?
prefer
Jarius at 2. I'll take Kendall at 1.
Yeah, if I get the option, I'll take Kendall at 1 because I do think he's just a better receiver.
Yeah.
I do think Jarius is worth $2 million. I think that's a pretty good deal for him.
Yeah, it's as far as 28-year-old former 2012 draft, more quick than fast wide receiver 5s that don't play special teams. I'll take Kendall at the cheaper price.
I hear you.
Yeah. Also, lots of people apparently had Kendall Wright sightings in the picture with Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs.
Isn't that Mac Brown?
Yeah. I'm getting to that. That Diggs posted from Atlanta. Like everyone thought that it just the short dude was Kendall Wright. It's like, no, that's Mac Brown.
Nah, man.
Which also, I don't want to knock him, but
did
what
you
is he doing there?
Yeah, that's true.
He's boys with Cousins.
Oh, yeah, he was boys with Cousins, right? Back in
Washington chemistry.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was with Washington. I should know these things.
He actually got some carries and looked decent before he came over to the Vikings.
All right.
Did you actually, either of you think it looked like Kendall Wright, though? I saw it and I was like, well, I don't know who that is.
I just
but
went by
don't
the
think
height,
Kendall
but then I
Wright.
looked at
Got
a picture of Kendall Wright. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I thought so. I looked at that and I thought it didn't look like Kendall Wright. So I was like, I have no idea who that is. He's not tall enough to be Caleb Jones.
Yep.
But I looked up Caleb Jones's face anyway, just in case, and he was like, no. I have no idea who this is.
Did you only get the backside of him playing defense on Zay?
Yeah, right.
Such a weird offseason story.
It's super weird. But yeah, so Jerry Strait signed for $2.64 million.
2.6.
Or no, never mind. That's how much he was saved against the cap. Either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't figure it out, and then I looked into the replies of the tweet, and someone was like, "Wait, is that Mac Brown?"
Yeah.
I looked it up, and it was.
That was Mac Brown's mom. Just making sure that is that Mac Brown over there?
Oh,
paparazzi coming out. It's big. Yeah, I will say though, like running back 3 spot. I mean, the Vikings will probably draft a guy day 3. I mean, could be open.
Yeah. I can see it.
Also, like
That's why like Naheem Hines pops out to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Also, I feel
They're
like
going to draft 1 or 2 of these names. I like Naheem Hines.
like Cousins makes best friends with everyone except for Bruce Allen. like Tom Compton, like his decision on like signing here, like after he left Washington, like he kept in contact with Kurt and was like, "Hey man, it'd be really cool to play together again someday." And then Compton went to Atlanta and then Chicago, and then he was like, "Oh." Cousins like called Compton, is like, "What's Minnesota like? Where should I live?" And Compton was like, "Not Rosemount."
not Rosemount.
Yeah. Stay out of my hood, Kirk.
son.
Yeah, you're shoot. Vikings re-signed Marcus Sherrills. Thumbs up, thumbs down. 2 thumbs up.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
I mean, they already don't have a kick returner. They might as well get a guy
every
who can do
year
both.
that he adds to his resume is just more impressive now, and it's just like, man,
feel
you're just perfect for that role.
He's gonna be a guy who won't be appreciated until he's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was really worried when somebody said he signed somewhere else. I think it was Carolina. And no, I was immediately my heart. I was like, no, we lost Cheryl's. Like we already lost Jerry.
I
was like, we lost Cheryl's too.
The Redacted podcast.
And then I was like,
Zone
and then
coverage.
when we found out we didn't, I was so happy.
The knock on him is more punt returns and kick returns are being kind of phased out, aren't they? Or de-emphasized?
I think he's a
more
great fifth corner.
I think it's not. Yeah, people say that they're wasting a roster spot because he doesn't play corner. I'm like, he plays on every special teams unit except for field goal,
and he's good.
Yeah.
He's one of the best punt
And I
returners
have
in the
seen him
league.
rush off the edge on field goal units. So, you know. Okay.
Oh yeah, field goal. I was talking about like,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was kicking,
Yeah. So what? 5 of 6 special teams units.
And when you only dress 46, I mean that's extremely valuable.
Yeah, it's super valuable. And I mean, he is actually
He
a pretty
shut down
decent
Kelvin
kick returner.
Benjamin too.
That was super funny.
Let's go.
He has a pass deflection on Kelvin.
Yeah,
I can't
a good
get over
one.
that. It's like literally just a foot taller.
No, Carr shut down Kelvin Benjamin.
And then Carolina was like, yeah, goodbye.
That's it. We've seen enough.
We can't recover from this. PR department just hit me. We can't recover from
Hey,
this.
we're trading you to Buffalo. Can't you just send me to Russia, man? The gulag. Like Buffalo is the Siberia of the NFL, isn't it?
I mean, I think maybe in terms of weather, but it's got to be Cleveland is the place you go to get
I
punished.
suppose, yeah.
Except
Bills
Cleveland's
is
actually
like-
good now.
Did you
Bills
see?
is like
Are
its
they?
own black hole.
Did you see?
They're 1-32, man. They got a lot to prove before you could even say they're all right.
And then they kicked RG3 to the curb. He's the last winning.
He's the
QB
last
wins.
winning quarterback. Yeah,
He's a
And I
Ra-
love how-
Ra-
didn't
he's
he
a
call
Raven. Did
somebody
you
out
see
for
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Yeah, RG3 Raven. Did you see Manziel's comment where he's like, they should have known I'm not an X and O's guy. I don't
Such a
really like
dummy.
watch the film.
Yeah.
And
Was that
that's
on the
right
Dan
before
Patrick
That
show?
was super funny.
That's
yeah.
right on a
Dan
big
Patrick
platform.
show.
Yeah.
See, I love the Manziel. It's the whole like
Should have done their homework.
it's the whole
Jesus.
crocodile apology thing. It's like I'm taking ownership for everything I've done wrong. Except Cleveland should have known that I don't watch film, and also that quarterback room is toxic. It's like that's not how it works, man.
Yeah, dude, you still don't get it, do you, dude?
Yeah. But
It is. It's so weird that he said that because like. You watch these interviews and like 90% of the stuff he's like saying the right thing, and I actually do believe him that he's got like this renewed commitment, that he's gone through rehab, and I can believe all of that. And he's not wrong when he says the Cleveland Browns should have done their homework and realized they don't watch film, but like maybe you shouldn't be the one to say that.
Right.
Like what the hell, dude?
Right.
I'm trying to think the analogy, but yeah, it's like basically I dick around and they should have known. And you're like, well, then stop dicking around.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
like-
Maybe don't dick around.
in fairness, the entire Browns front office didn't want to draft him, except Jimmy Haslam was like, "Hey, some homeless dude, give me a hot
right.
tip."
Yeah.
He's
We're
like
in.
Jerry Jones is going to take him. Jerry's got him.
Man, what if Teddy would have went to Cleveland? That was
Didn't Jerry have to be held back, like physically held back from
Yeah.
choosing him?
good thing
Yeah.
that Steven
Yeah.
works out P90X. Good stuff. Vikings acquired about Marquette King, recently cut from the Raiders because he's got personality and also is under 30. Would King be an upgrade over Quigley?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But what about touchbacks, Arif?
Okay, so there's a good way to measure the overall impact that various aspects of punting have. So obviously it's a very good thing to kick inside the 20 and avoid touchbacks. It's also a very good thing to boom a punt far downfield when you're pinned inside your own 30, and Quigley can't do that second thing. And so you when you compare the two, you have to figure out like which one do you prefer, because Marquette King does kick touchbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does boom it a little bit too deep sometimes. He has control issues, and sometimes it just kind of gets out of hand. He did also down it a ton inside the 20, so it's not as if, you know, he'll only kick touchbacks. The way for us to measure it is basically just how many points do football teams on average get based off of their field position when they first begin a drive. Well, that's how many sort of expected points, you know, you can compare those expected points against each other and compare that against what an average punt from that field position would have done. And you can basically, by calculating, you can figure out what the net expected points from each punter is. Unfortunately, so Quigley avoids touchbacks. He also doesn't actually kick it very far deep inside the 20. It's usually just inside the 20 when he kicks it inside the 20. And so he actually doesn't add, like if he had just kicked a touchback instead, they lose like 3 yards. It's not that
Is it
huge.
like boasting that a baseball batter doesn't have any flyouts to the outfield because he never hits it out of the infield?
Yeah, right, exactly. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, he's Pat Mears.
So
What a great wow.
Great name drop.
Yeah.
Baseball has the best name drops.
I know.
'cause You got,
yeah, right, yeah. And so I took a look and I was like, well, what's the net expected points? So Marquette King, third in the NFL in net expected points per punt. Ryan
Seems to
Quigley,
be good.
29th.
Yeah.
Not great. And
Not great,
there's
Bob.
something
Not great.
Well,
that
the Vikings aren't going to pump
Ryan
Cousins anyway.
Klesko.
Right, yeah, it's true. Good point.
Remember that one?
Now, that's not a perfect statistic because muffed punts add a lot to your expected points, and the Raiders led the league in muffed punts, and punters are not necessarily all that responsible for it. The Vikings did not have that many muffed punts. When you adjust for that and you adjust for fumbles, which they obviously punters are not causing, honestly.
But doesn't Sam Cook do like some screwball thing where? it
Yeah,
messes
so
with
when
you?
they do that, they are, but for the most part, punters don't.
Oh, he's got the spitter.
Andy Lee did the same
Right.
thing for a while too.
The old
But when you adjust for that, the Raiders dropped to like 7th, and Quigley, jumps up to like 28th. But that's still a huge difference, and that difference is about 25 points over the course of a season, which doesn't sound like a ton. But if you could have 2 free points a game, you'd take it, right?
Yeah.
And NFL teams should pay $2 million more to get 2 points a game.
Andy Lee, the pride of Pitt, the best Pitt Panther there has ever been.
Yep, there's
in the National Football League.
no other Pitt Panther, running back or wide receiver that has done well.
Might be from here.
It's
Yeah,
Andy
right.
Lee. It's Andy Lee, Deion Lewis, Antonio Bryant.
Bryant.
Do you remember him?
Yeah. Oh, my
Speaking of old names, all right. So we got to get a humping. We got 2-round mock draft. We'll complete it over the remaining hour and a half of the show. So Tom, you know what to do.
Queuing it up.
You know what is happening. You
Wes
didn't have it
Anderson
queued up?
directed. I did not. I had Wes Anderson directed X.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
All right, so we got a mock draft going on. We'll have some trades, and I am up first. The Browns at 1. You know what? All this talk about Josh Rosen, and he asked why a lot.
And then he tweeted out why.
Yeah, I actually think that's a positive. I think he's I won't say safest, but he has the fewest question marks in his game. Is that fair?
Sure.
Of the court? Yeah, we'll toss him in. So.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Josh Rosen, 1-1 to the Cleveland Browns. Come on down.
You have Rosen over Darnold, right?
Yeah, Rosen's
we
my
both
number
do.
1.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Luke, you're up 2 with the Giants.
Giants. Boy, Gettleman likes his D lineman. Don't be surprised about a D lineman here. Bradley Chubb, obviously, he's going to be on the board. That might be enticing.
Do some. Oh, crap. I have to change the stupid Patriots.
And then I
stupid
was just
thing.
going to say, obviously, a trade down is very likely or possible. Even though, oh my God, even though I don't personally rank running backs very high. Saquon Barkley, I think, is just such a dual threat in both the running game and the passing game. With OBJ likely to be back, I don't think he's going to be traded. Sterling Shepard and Evan Engram, I just think this might be the missing piece. You can go get a defensive stud in the top of the second round. Trade down more likely, though.
Yeah, plus you
Trade
got
down more likely.
Yeah, plus you got a brand new right tackle, Eric Flowers, busting fools.
I think the Browns don't trade back.
Brand new right tackle.
They pull the trigger. I think the Giants pull the trigger.
All right. So Saquon, come on down.
Draft season, baby.
Arif, you're up 3 Jets via the Indianapolis Colts.
Baker Mayfield.
Great pick.
It's almost set up.
Great
Yeah,
pick.
it's perfect. It's too good.
Broadway Joe-ish 2.0.
I'll tell you what, man.
Tell you what.
There might not be a bigger riser right now from where we started than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I think he could end up being in this top 3 discussion. What I mean by that is discussed as the number 1 and number 2 overall pick.
I'm back up. Browns at 4 via the Texans, part of the Deshaun Watson trade. They already have a good front 7, but let's make this absolutely disgusting. Toss Bradley Chubb opposite of Myles Garrett, last year's number 1 pick, and just go.
I think that's great.
Win every single game.
I like
6-3.
Gosh, that's fun.
Go. Luke, you're up. Broncos 5.
Broncos, I think John Elway, this isn't what I would do. This is what I think would happen. I think John Elway will get enticed and
He'll have another
truly by Josh Allen and that big arm.
He'll have another teeth largening.
I don't think he can do it.
He's got Gary Busey teeth.
He's got those.
Gary Busey.
Actually, the older Elway gets, the more like Busey he looks like.
That's true.
And acts like.
Yeah.
And acts like.
Oh, it all comes back to Looper.
It always comes back to Looper.
All right, Reef, you're up 6 Colts.
Man, the Colts should fix a lot up front, but I just think it would be better for them to figure out that defense a lot more. So, for me, it's between Derwin James and Minkah Fitzpatrick. I would say it'd be wiser to pick Minkah Fitzpatrick. Let's do that.
All right, Minkah, come on down. You're
Love
the next
it.
contestant.
You team him up with the other safety from last year, Malik Hooker. Oh, that's going to be
the
fun.
Minkah
That's great.
Hookers. I'm up Bucks at 7. They took Hargraves 2 years ago? Last year?
Last year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now, I'm using my lifeline here. Roquan Smith, Roquan is sitting there chilling. Mm-hmm. Also like Denzel Ward. Mm-hmm. Derwin James also a person.
Quentin Nelson is chilling, bro.
Yeah.
Best player of the
Yeah.
draft.
Actually, I'm going to take Quentin Nelson just to keep him away from the Bears because screw
Good
this
call.
draft.
Didn't we
Yeah.
give him to the Bears like 3 drafts in a row, too?
Yeah,
so
we did.
that's perfect.
That's how we roll. Luke, 8, Bears, speaking of the devil.
So they
Yeah,
got-
I'm just going to let the board fall to me because, again, Quentin Nelson, Roquan Smith, Denzel Ward, Derwin James are all enticing. They don't need a safety. They already have a phenomenal safety duo right now. I'm going to give him Roquan Smith. I think the Bears are just adding to what the Bears are. A great defensive team. They got their quarterback. They'll add some weapons in the 2nd and 3rd round. Maybe they can get Anthony Miller type of guy, DJ Moore type of guy in the 2nd round.
Roquan Smith, come on down. You're the next contestant. Arif, number 9, Niners. You get.
Niners could go anywhere here, and I think they'd be pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because, I mean, they've had a series of great linebackers retire, right? So they could go for either linebacker. Or I guess now they can't go for either linebacker. But I think if they can't get Roquan Smith, they'll be looking at Tremaine Edmonds and thinking about Derwin James. I think those are probably the 2 options. For them, it would probably be better to go with Derwin, but I bet they go with Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, either I've both kind of similarly ranked. I think Derwin maybe slightly higher, but that's really the way this board fell is worst case scenario for the Niners because they're hoping a Quentin Nelson or Roquan Smith or Minkah falls to them or Barkley falls to them. Sam Darnold didn't go. That's why you see the fall here, and somebody else gets soaked up. So yeah, Edmonds is a good pick.
All right, Tremaine Edmonds, welcome to the Niners. 10, me, Raiders. So they took Conley last year, and give him a little run, mate. Give him Denzel Ward, Ohio State. Welcome to the secondary.
Like it.
There you go.
Him and Carl Joseph, too, right? Denzel Ward, Carl Joseph.
Yeah.
Gary's
Nice.
Conley.
Number 11, Dolphins.
Sam
Luke
Darnold.
Duke.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
no-brainer. I mean, let's go get a franchise quarterback. I'm done with Tannehill. It's been 5 years. That's a dream for them to see Darnold far. I'd take Lamar Jackson if Darnold wasn't there.
Could you
Which
see?
I think we do every time, too.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Could you see someone trading up to 11? Just going and getting their guy.
I could see somebody trading up to 10 to snipe the Dolphins. But yeah, I could see somebody trade him to 11 too.
Arif, 12, Bills.
Let's complete the run. Let's go with Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson,
it.
come on
Love
down. Speaking of Siberia, yeah.
Right.
Like, there's a reason why Jim Kelly, anywhere but Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills select Jim Kelly. Crap.
Right.
I'm going to play for this league that can't pay all of its players. A team that's called the Houston Gamblers.
Trump owns a team.
Right.
Also, Tampa Bay Bandits part owner, Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, man.
Come on
good.
down.
So good.
Let's go. Let's play. 13, me, Washington. Let's see in there. They're good on offensive line. Wide receiver.
So they
fine.
quote unquote lost Sua Cravens.
Yeah.
They could go after Derwin James, right? Who technically, I guess they would not play the same position because they moved Cravens to linebacker. But I would imagine Derwin James would help, especially they lose Fuller, right?
And he's a top 12 player too.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit off the menu. I'm going to make sure that Harold Landry doesn't have to change uniform colors. Harold Landry, come on down. You're playing in the nation's capital, but really Maryland. Next up. 14, Packers, Luke Duke.
Boy, Calvin Ridley sitting there again. This isn't what maybe I would do, but what I think is going to happen. Some good players sitting there. Do they need Derwin James? Do they need a safety? Because he's clearly the best player right now. Do they need a safety?
They got Clinton Dix. I'm sure they're pretty happy with him.
Okay.
Besides that,
they got Josh Jones.
They do like Josh Jones a lot. They might skip. That would be interesting if that scenario happens.
Boy.
And they skip on a safety like Derwin James, who could be a potential franchise changer on the back end like Harrison Smith. Packers fans might be really upset.
No, we heard from one of our buddies, Leighton Vander Esch, is in play here for the Packers.
Which,
don't know if that was true or not.
I don't love that fit for them, which means I would like it if they picked him that high.
As an edge?
No, as a blitzing inside linebacker.
Okay. I'm going to go Calvin Ridley.
I think that makes the most sense.
I don't have him ranked the 14th best player in this draft, but I think they would take him. First receiver goes at 14.
All right, come on down. Sorry, is that Ridley?
Yeah.
Ridley, yep.
Ridley Scott. You're playing next to $14.5 million per year man, Devontae Adams. So stupid. 15, Cardinals, Arif.
So they're in an interesting spot, right? Because they lost Tyrann Mathieu. Now, they do like Budda Baker. They still have Antoine Bethea, who can still, lay the wood. But I think you'd still go with Derwin James. Mm-hmm. I think you can have James play the slot like Mathieu. You can have him play safety like Mathieu. You just replace Mathieu.
Deserves to go in the top 15.
Yeah.
He's that good. I think he's in play at Tampa at 7.
Yeah.
16, the Ravens. Their wide receiver deficiencies are very well known, but I'm going to throw a wild card in here.
Okay.
Bring me some Dallas Goedert. Because they have 17 tight ends. They're all bad, including Max Williams, sorry. And then also they moved Crockett Gilmore to tackle. So that's how their tight end position is going. And Ozzie Newsome is that's got to hurt him inside. It's
probably a good move for Crockett Gilmore, honestly.
17. Also, how fun would it be just to put on weight? No big deal.
That would be pretty great. You still have to work out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But my name's Crockett. I can do whatever I want. 17, Chargers, Luke Duke.
I think they want to pull their franchise quarterback to eventually be groomed by Phillip Rivers, but there's just nobody here that I feel comfortable taking.
Mason Rudolph.
Their O-line finally took 2 years, but Russell Okung, Dan Feeney, Mike Pouncey from Miami, Forrest Lamp. They just need a right tackle. I'm going to go Mike McGlinchey and seal the deal for Phillip Rivers and give him, maybe 2-3 years left of a clean pocket.
Mike McGlinchey, come on down. San Diego, Whale's Vagina. 18, Chargers, Seahawks, Arif.
So there's a lot of ways the Seahawks could go here. I'm going to go a way that I do not agree with, but I think really fits what the Seahawks tend to do. Colton Miller. Super long, super athletic.
Yep.
Really fits, I think, what the Seahawks have done historically, which is a problem, right? Because their offensive line is bad and their strategy of picking offensive linemen is not good. But I'm just going to kind of stay true to who they've been. The most athletic offensive lineman at the combine. He's like 6'9" or something. He's huge, right?
Monster.
He needs a lot of technical work. I don't think he's a very good tackle. But I think it really fits the Seahawks to do this.
All right. I'm up next, Dallas Cowboys. Now, whatever shakes out with Dez, they still need some wide receiver help. So why not bring over the kid, keep him in town, the pride of FMU.
FMU.
Cortland Sutton. Come on
It'll
down.
be really interesting to see where he eventually goes, and if he
Yeah.
is the second receiver off the board. I mean, he's really good. But
There's a lot of receivers that can compete for that kind of title, the second
Right.
receiver. Yeah.
Not a great receiver class, not a great tackle class.
Yeah, well, the thing about the receiver class is I think that if you took sort of the core of it and put it in any other receiver class, you'd be like, wow, what a great class that's got such depth. But because there's no top receiver that it's very easy to be excited about, and honestly, I don't really like Calvin Ridley all that much, it really isn't a good class. But, I mean, if you wait till the second and third round, I think you'll end up, or third or fourth round, I think you'll end up with receivers that, on average, are better than other third or fourth round receivers. Which, that's not an enormous compliment or anything like that, but I think that there's value to be found.
All right, Luke, next up, Lions up at 20.
let's go Vita Vea. They got
That fits. That's good.
They need some more help there. They got rid of Nada, Haloti Nada. They got Robinson from Alabama from last year or 2 years ago, but I think Vita Vea is clearly a top 20 player. So
Yeah.
I just think good value.
All right, 21, do it for Joe Goodberry, Arif Bengals on the clock.
They've picked like a bunch of tackles, and none of them are good. Let's try it again.
Yep.
Connor Williams, who actually has a history of being good.
He'll pan out.
It's like in World War I when they're just getting used to the machine gun. They're like, just keep sending guys.
We got to run out of bullets, right?
What is
that
their honor?
Brannigan strategy, right?
I shall rattle our saber and drive the Kaiser from his perch. 22. I'm up Bills. All right, so the Bills already got their QB future, Lamar Jackson. Let's get him someone who will never be on the field at the same time, but they need some help at linebacker too. Give me Leighton Van Der Esch of the Boise Van Der Esches. I feel like
It's the white collar, super rich Leighton Vander Esch from Boise State.
isn't Van Der Esch like is that a reality TV show? Like the Real Housewives or something?
The Real Housewives of Vander Esch.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I feel like that's the thing. But next up, Luke. Patriots.
So they can't go quarterback like a lot of us kind of
Right.
thought would be exciting.
Right.
I don't know that they can go edge rusher here, which is definitely help that they need. Maybe Duke
they trade
Ejiofor,
down.
maybe Marcus Davenport. That would kind of
Maybe
fit.
they're the team that goes up to 10 to snipe the Dolphins.
They need receivers. They need edge players. I would maybe hold off on interior defensive linemen. Maybe cornerback. Kind of depends on how you read the Malcolm Butler thing. I would say cornerback is probably a need.
They gave up 36 to the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jair Alexander.
Yeah, I think that's perfect, right?
You need three
He's been
good
sitting
corners.
there. He's
they
a
could
top
have
end corner.
Two good corners right now. With
Well, they got
Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore and
We'll see what happens with McCourty.
Jason
but if
McCourty,
that doesn't
yeah.
pan out, boy, you better have a backup plan. And I think you get it out of the way right now. Jair Alexander.
Panthers are up next. Arif on the clock at 24.
So the Panthers definitely need a guard. I think for them, what kind of fits, and they need receivers too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the value is here at receiver. If they got DJ Moore, that would be great. That wouldn't be a bad pick. But I think there's not a ton of guards that kind of fit what they do systemically. There's a lot of move guards. They want power guards. I think Will Hernandez is a great pick for them here.
Will Hernandez. You're breaking my heart. You're breaking my balls. It's okay. Proud of you, Tap. Come on down. I'm up next, Tennessee. Tennessee could use a little bit of help on the edge. So, I don't know, is this the Davenport spot? I know you guys like Lorenzo Carter as well. Like, if you were given the
A little
choice.
too high for Carter. I'm not a huge Davenport guy.
I'm not a huge
from
Davenport
where
guy either.
he's-
I think
where
Davenport
he's
is a really great second-round prospect.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I feel. Yeah, you're right. Tennessee does kind of need edge help. They could
see
wait
Rashawn
another
Evans.
year and just rely on the corpses of Brian Arakpo and Derek Morgan, but
Who's their?
that would be good. They could use interior help to help Jarrell Casey.
They should go defense.
Yeah, there's Taven Bryan is there.
We're just not going to overthink it. We're going to go Deron Payne. Come
Okay.
on down.
Yeah, that fits their defense actually really well.
Coming down to Nashville. There we go. 26 Falcons. Luke Duke.
I need you. I mean, what do you
What,
guys?
Gesicki's there?
Gesicki.
Right, I think that
Gesicki.
kind of would help them a lot.
Let's go Gesicki.
All right.
That makes a move tight end in that offense.
Yeah.
I think they want to be able to move a tight end around and create mismatches with Julio.
Since they lost out on Levine to... it's all good. Next up, Saints. Arif.
Man, the Saints could do
Tom, your pick's coming up soon.
a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
Saints could do a lot of things and not have to worry. I mean, they're not an incomplete team by any means. But for me, if I were them, if there were like some linebackers that I liked that were on the board, that's probably the direction I would go in. Their offensive line is doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure they're happy with it. They're especially with Teron Armstead coming back. Wide receiver core obviously is pretty good. Yeah, I think
They're loaded, dude.
Yeah, I might
need a
want to
lot.
go linebacker if I'm them. I don't know that there's a ton of linebackers here that I'm like
Evans.
incredibly high on. Let's see.
I don't like this linebacker class in general. I don't think it's that great.
Like, who do we... I mean, you could, like, maybe they could overdraft Malik Jefferson a little bit. Maybe this is where we put Leighton Vander Esch.
You know,
he's already gone.
Rashawn Evans?
Oh, yeah.
Rashawn Evans from Alabama?
Oh, Rashawn... yeah, let's do Rashawn Evans.
Yeah.
Rashawn Evans, come on down. You're the next contestant on Who Dat. 28 Steelers. Steelers could use a little bit of help on the back end safety. And, of course, we talked about my crush already. Justin Reed, come on down. You'll be waving some terrible towels.
Okay, Tommy Guns. Yeah, 29.
This is my team.
Bortles.
Bortles. So traditionally, I've gone with a wide receiver here to help my my guy Bortles out.
They got a wide receiver here.
Take a quarterback.
And
Mason Rudolph.
is it worth going Anthony Miller of Memphis, or do you like these defensive players that
Miller.
are
Miller's great.
I love Miller.
Miller?
I
Okay,
like
here's
him a
what
lot.
you need to know about Miller. Arif took him at 8 overall.
I did
with the
overdraft him.
Bears.
I did overdraft him.
That's
But-
how good he is.
I do think he's
No, he's
potentially the best receiver in this class. I have changed my mind. He's my
when
second
you got a
receiver.
guy like Bortles throwing to you, all right?
He's
All
making
right.
some fair points.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going. Was it Anthony Miller?
Yeah.
Anthony Miller.
We're going Anthony Miller.
I've changed my mind. I think I'm on the DJ Moore train now.
I love DJ.
But yeah, Anthony Miller's quite good.
All right, 30 Vikings consensus picks. Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn.
Right, this is
Isaiah Wynn.
this is the dream
no,
for them,
this is
right?
we trade down like 3 spots.
because
and
you could get
Billy
Taven
or-
Bryan, Maurice Hurst, Isaiah Wynn,
Yeah.
Billy Price.
Wow.
I would pick Wynn, but if they traded down to grab like a little bit more, this is the dream scenario.
Let's trade down. Who's coming up?
Who's going? I think the Colts. Well, they have.
No, I think the Colts need to.
9,000 picks.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are
about
fine with the.
Patriots. No, they're good.
What about the Browns? Who would they get?
Who didn't go get their guy?
Yeah, who didn't go get the guy?
Yeah, go you guy. I don't know. That's tough, man.
Yeah,
The Colts are loaded, dude.
Let's see.
Patriots, Jets.
Bengals might trade up for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Like, who needs a
They
receiver?
have John Ross and DJ Moore.
Yeah.
There is-
Yeah. Well, who does need a receiver? Because, okay, so the guys people might trade up for are obviously the offensive line, Denzel Ward, who needs a cornerback.
Denzel Ward's not there.
Oh, sorry, I missed him. My bad.
He is not present.
There's still some great corners,
yeah,
though.
he went to the
Josh
Raiders.
Jackson, Isaiah Oliver. Chilling. Isaiah Wynn, I think, is the most realistic one.
Yeah, well, so if we can't figure out who's
I
going
think
to
he's
trade
that
up,
consensus good. I
maybe
think
someone
we-
trades up for Darius Geis.
I think we just take Wynn and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because we could lose it. Because I'm going to
Yeah.
take Wynn with the Patriots next pick.
Yeah.
You can step a lot of things. Next up.
That's a great pick. Everybody should feel really happy about that board.
Next up, 31. Patriots. Luke Duke.
This is the Davenport pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, not what I would do, what I think is going to happen. Marcus Davenport. And now you've got Jair Alexander and Davenport. That's fun. You can go get an old lineman. They have 2 second-rounders, which you'll find out here.
You know, I just always thought that, the couches
We're
are
going back.
super comfortable.
Must have missed.
Davenport. Next up, the Eagles.
Darius Geis.
32. Geis.
Easily.
Thrice.
Love it.
Come on down.
Dirty.
Bam.
God, he's going to be good.
All right, got a couple minutes. Let's dive into the second round because we got calls in hour 2. I'm up again with the Browns, so we already got a quarterback. We got Rosen. We already got an edge guy, Bradley Chubb. Let's add some running back
Or go
juice.
get Billy Price, dude.
Yeah, they could
Seal it.
They could get a tackle here. I think makes a lot of sense because they lost Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Right. Who do they got?
Yeah.
Sean Coleman.
No, they're horrible there.
Brian O'Neill.
Actually, that would make a lot of sense. Tyler Crosby would make a lot of sense. Brian O'Neill would make a lot of sense.
Crosby, where's Brown going to go now? Orlando Brown. Where's he going to go now? How
I think
far is
he's
he gonna
going late in
fall?
the second, early in the third. I don't want him.
Wow.
And his pro day numbers, by the way, improved substantially what he put together with the combine. It was still pretty bad.
Now,
How about Josh Jackson? Yeah, you're right. How about Maurice Hurst or Josh Jackson?
now I hear all you guys. I'm going to Browns this thing. Ronald Jones, USC.
I like it.
Yeah, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you like
fine.
it?
No.
He's a fine player.
is
They
the
just
Browns.
also have Duke Johnson.
Right.
Let's
I
Browns.
Duke
Get it.
Johnson.
How?
All right, Luke, you're up at 34. Giants.
Okay, with Saquon Barkley, I think Billy Price should be the pick here, right?
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. But because they lost
Protect
Justin
Eli
Pug,
here.
right?
Yeah. Protect Eli for these last 2-3 years. Someone like Mike McGlinchey and the Chargers.
Right,
Phillip
and I think it's a
Rivers.
little bit too early for someone like
he's so-
Mason Rudolph.
Yes, and he's so good, too. Billy Price, you know what you're getting. He's going to be a great pick.
35, Arif, you're up. Browns.
Browns it.
Okay, I got the Browns again. No, I think they need to go tackle. It would be easy for
Crosby?
me to go with Brian O'Neill. I honestly think Tyrell Crosby is just that good.
I just think there's
I'd take
too
him
much
here.
better talent sitting on the board.
There is. Actually, well, so how many more picks do the Browns have?
Like even James Washington or Josh Jackson or Isaiah Oliver.
Let's,
Taven Bryant.
Billy
Reese
Price.
Hurst.
Hey, you know what? Let's keep Billy Price in Ohio.
I like it.
Yeah, because they
Wait,
could.
I just picked Billy Price.
Yeah, Billy
Oh,
Price gone.
shit. God damn it. I'm so bad at this.
I actually congratulate
Can you imagine
I was like,
Arif in the
dude,
draft room? They're like, dude,
you congratulated
like
yeah.
4 or 5 times
Yeah.
this has happened.
what's going on?
And they're like, it's like we're the Browns.
it
Browns
makes
in
sense. What? So they
a shirt.
got.
Can we shirt
They
it?
got. They got
Browns.
Bradley Chubb and Myles Garrett, and they've got.
Get Hurst. and
Nobody
just
inside, right?
complete the
Let's just get.
whole
Let's just
thing.
get Maurice Hurst.
Wow, Chubb and
Dirty.
Hurst
Yeah.
with Garrett. Browns it.
Dirty. Number 4, Colts. I am up. All right, so who did the Colts get in the first round?
They went Minka.
Minka. All right, so still in the mood
James
for.
Daniels seems sexy, or more
Yeah.
defense.
James Daniels will
man.
make a ton
or
of
more
sense.
defense. Go get defense.
You could get Jamarco Jones.
Build
at
that
tackle.
defense, dude.
Like,
Build it.
edge, any linebackers at all.
And these corners are great.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Yeah, we're going to try and keep Andrew Luck alive. We'll take
Nice.
James Daniels,
Good
toss
pick.
him at guard, opposite of Ryan Kelly. Or, hell, put Daniels at center.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like it.
Number 5, Colts. Oh, again, this pick via the Jets.
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah, Luke.
Oh, yeah, because the Colts have like 9 second-round picks.
Yeah.
You know, I think I have Josh Jackson ranked higher, but Isaiah Oliver I think fits the Colts a little bit more. Long, lanky, super athletic. You got Hooker, you got Malik, and now you got a pure shutdown corner.
Let's go.
I like that. That's fun.
All right, Arif, you are up next. You got the Bucks.
Who did they pick first?
The good-looking question. Quentin
Quentin.
Nelson.
Oh, all right.
Great pick.
Yeah, so
Edge,
here
if you can
you
get
got to
it.
think, Brent Grimes is not great anymore.
Yep. Josh Jackson.
They've got to be happy with who they just re-signed, Keith Tandy. They might be happy with Justin Evans at safety. I would say Josh Jackson is the pick here.
I like it. Do you want him for the Bears?
Yeah, I did. So, mini run on quarterbacks. Going to follow suit. Give me some Holton Hill, Texas. Recent 30 visit for the Vikings, but whatever. Give him to the Bears at 39. Next up, 40. Luke, you got the Broncos again.
Taven Bryan, Florida.
Yep.
Josh Allen got my
Yep.
quarterback. Now let's try to rebuild that defense. Taven Bryan, get some interior pressure. I like him.
Beautiful. Arif, you're up at 41. You got the Raiders again.
Raiders. Well, obviously they're happy with their 60-year-old
Draft
wide
a
receiver
punter.
core, right? Right. Who's that?
Biggest
Who's that punter
need,
out of
dude.
Texas? They, I think they do want to continue building on that defense. Now, unfortunately, I think those defensive tackles are mostly gone unless they really like Nathan Shepard, which it might be a little bit high for them. Maybe they could go linebacker. I don't love these linebackers here. You know what? Let's. I think we need a tight end too. What do we got left? Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't love that either. You know what? Let's go with Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, come on down.
Dirty.
Oh,
Nobody
sorry,
talks about
Doug
running back
Martin.
for them.
Yeah.
It's okay, Doug Martin. You're like 95 years old in NFL years. It's okay. That happens.
Running back NFL years.
Yeah.
Right.
Dolphins.
Yep. 42 Dolphins. Already
Lamar
got.
first, right?
Yeah. Already got. Daniels replacement.
Or no, was it Darnold?
It was Darnold.
That was Darnold.
Yeah, because he's there, sitting there chilling. I feel like we talk about this a lot. I feel like the Dolphins are just terrible.
As an organization, yes.
Yeah, I mean they're just straight
Yes.
up bad.
They could really use Frank Ragnow.
That'd be a great pick.
It's a little early.
Pouncey's gone.
A little
no,
early.
I think it's fine.
All
You
right.
think?
That good.
All right, Ragnow, keep on moving south.
I like it.
Starting in Chanhassen, now we here down in South Beach.
Now we here.
That's the way it usually goes. All right, so we're gonna break there. That is the first 42 picks of our 2-round mock draft. I think we're making some good headway. Who's still left? that entices you guys?
DJ Moore, who is now my wide receiver 1.
Carlton Davis is my guy from Auburn, cornerback.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
good.
second tier.
Yeah.
Outside of the first tier, he's so good. And any other draft, I think he'd go end of round 1, maybe. I really like him.
All right. Hit that up. We'll be back. We'll have hour 2. We'll finish up this thing. Also, open phone lines as well. Shows available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, so coverage.com/machine. But for Luke, Arif, Tom, I'm Andy. And I'm excited. Bye-bye. That's hour 2.